2 bits.
4 bits. 6 bits a dollar.
6 bits a dollar.
$1.
All for the Gators.
All for the Gators.
All for the Gators.
Stand up and holler.
Stand up and holler.
Stand up and holler.
How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to Stand Up and Holler, episode 2. I think we got the camera fixed this time around, so let's just hope and pray that this continues to stay not glitchy and we're able to get through this so I'm not jumping all around and disappearing and yada, yada, yada. You guys get it. So we got some games talk today. We got a little bit more recruiting talk today. We got some commits. We got some future commits. Looks like we might be missing out on a little bit. We're going to dive into that a little bit more. We got some, national champs that got drafted just recently. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I just look forward to sitting and hanging out with you guys a little bit and just really connecting with you guys. And, I'm just glad you guys are back. So we're going to start off with talking about the 3 national champs that got drafted. We got Big Walt, Lake Wales, Polk County, stand up. Walter Clayton drafted to the Utah Jazz. I love that pick for them. I love that pick for anybody, to be honest, because if you ask me, I think he's the best pick in the draft. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got Elijah Martin going to the Toronto Raptors. Defensive guy, leader type guy for the locker room. And then Will Richard going to Golden State. I mean, if you watch him in the national championship game, just add him to the Splash Bros at this point. I mean, just a bucket getter. And, I'm just super, super happy for them boys and excited to watch them grow and just, see what they can do in the league, because if we know what they can do. We know what they bring to the table. We watched them all year, and there's more to it than just having the media behind you, and them boys got it. So congrats to them. Utah Jazz, you got a new fan right here. But I'm excited to see what they do in the league and how far they can go in their careers. So we're going to just dive in to the commits. We got a new commit in Desmond Green. Big-bodied guy. Let's pull up some stats about him real quick and just give you a little bit of a rundown of who Desmond Green is and what he's going to bring to the Florida Gators. Let's see. Let's pull him up here. 6'4", 354 pounds. Big body, big boy. You know what it is. Billy and company loves to have the Great Wall of Gainesville, and just, we're trying to get it to where ain't nobody going to touch DJ. 3-star on 247, 4-star composite on 247. I really like him. I really, really like him. I like the size. You can't teach size. Couple of fundamentals things that he needs to work on when he gets here, but as you know, and as we know, just look at the progress that's been made in our offensive line already. And you can't deny this coaching staff. They know how to develop, and they know what they're doing. They see it. They know talent, whether it's 5-star all the way down to a 3-star, whatever the case may be. They know what they're doing, so I'm going to trust them. That's our only commit since our last episode. We got a couple of commit watches. We got Kendall Gerville. I think that's how you say the last name. Defensive lineman. He is set to make his commitment on July 2nd. He is currently crystal balled to Texas. What are you going to do? Texas is just dropping the bag. But I mean, at least we're in the running right now with the Texases, the Georgias, the Bamas. At least we're up there with them. But we got to get to the point where we can finish it. I mean, we don't know. Who knows? I mean, July 2nd will tell all. A crystal ball is only a crystal ball. They've been wrong before. None of them are 100% on picking where these guys are going to go. And let's wait and see. Let's just wait and see. And also, just because they commit, that it doesn't mean that that's where they're staying. I mean, this commitments nowadays is only just, hey, I'm doing this right now. Get a bunch of clicks and likes on the Instagram post and a bunch of comments, and then all that hoopla, and then the games get played, and then people shift all around, and everybody you thought was committed, you end up losing 6 or 7 of them to other schools, and you get 6 or 7 more. So let the games be played, and let's see where it's going to go from there. Moving over to Trenton Henderson, the number 1 edge in this class, 5-star. I mean, for weeks now, it's looked like it's going to be Florida. That's what it looked like. That's what it felt like. Everything felt like it was going to be Florida. And then LSU came in and they swiped the black card and they got the big money out, and they brought in just bags of cash and said, no, this is a by the player league anymore now. Again, I stand by this. Who knows? I mean, Brian Kelly's going to Brian Kelly, and I don't believe in him. I don't believe in the coach that he is. I don't think he's a great coach. I think that he showed that at Notre Dame. I think that he's showing that here. And, LSU, they're turning over defensive coaches, like people change their boxers, change their underwear. I mean, they just keep rotating them boys. And so, again, I stand by this here, and it goes for our class, and it goes for any class in the nation anymore. Let's let the games be played, and let's see where all of this falls and see where they end up. I mean, shoot, even if they do go there, a lot of these athletes are going to somewhere for a year, collecting a check, and then going to where they want to play for anyways. It's the wild, wild west out here. And I don't even trust any commits anymore. The loyalty is just gone to the wayside anymore. And so we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen, but I trust Billy and co, and I trust that whenever it comes to National Signing Day, which we know now is in December, not in February, I know he's going to get his. I trust them to evaluate. I trust them that even if it's not the 5 stars, even if it's a 4-star, I believe that they have the eye and they have the wisdom and the knowledge to look at these players and say, hey, like, I know they ain't got a 5-star from them, but we know that we can develop them. We know that they can be into something far better than, what these rankings think of these kids. Because to put it bluntly, when they get onto campus, those stars go away. Those stars are gone. It doesn't matter anymore. And so, let everything be what it's going to be. Let's not stress. Let's not overreact about a commit going somewhere else, because, again, the commitments mean absolutely nothing. Last one on our list is Preston Carey, a defensive lineman. He is scheduled to make his decision today, and I just, he's crystal ball dust. I like the pickup. I think that he's another one that he's not, a big named player, but development is key. Development is key. You can't teach size. And I do believe that you can teach technique. I do believe that you can teach these things. Yes, it's a little bit easier when you have like the 5 stars, such as a Trenton Henderson, who just are physically gifted and have it and are able to, from the jump. And then anything you teach them is just the cherry on top. And just make it to where, it makes it easier. It just makes it a much, better thing. But again, you go and you tell me players that got, Cam Ward, for example. Cam Ward's a perfect example. Coming out of high school, nobody really wanted him. Nobody. And then he ends up going to Washington State. Goes to Washington State, then plans to enter the NFL draft. And then Miami goes, hey, come here for a year. We're going to pay you an obnoxious amount of money. And then look at him, first overall pick. And so development is where it's really at. Let these coaches coach and let this stuff play out, because I really believe in this staff. Again, it all goes down to just letting them do what they do. And I found myself doing it too, as well as other Gators fans that I see on X and I see on Instagram or wherever, talking to in person. All of us tend to stress and to freak out because, we don't have the number one class, or we don't have this or that. And it's fine. It is what it is. You're still in that top 10. We're number 7, this last go around. And I fully believe that we're going to be right there in the mix of that top 10. And again, when the games get played, don't let us go against this number 1 toughest schedule and let us ball out against these boys and end up with, a 10-win, 11-win season, because I'm telling you, you better hide your recruits, because Billy's going to come take them. Billy's going to put on the ski mask and he's going to come in there, and it's a stick up for whoever he wants. If that happens, I'm telling you, you can call it bias, you can call it what you want, but that's just the case. That's what it's going to be. If he gets the wins on that resume, because I fully believe that this man can recruit, this man can get the players that he wants, but you let him get the wins out there too, where he has even more on his resume to prove, you better hide him. You better lock him up and figure out a way to keep him, because if not, Billy's going to come get what he wants when he wants, and they're going to be in UF's class. Call it what you want. Clip this. I don't care. It's going to be what it's going to be. So we'll see. I really would, all that being said, I do want to see us with a top 5 class, if not into that top 3. I mean, again, I said it last week. I'm going to say it again this week. DJ goes out there and balls and DJ stays healthy this year, people are going to want to come play with him. People are going to want to come and join this team and play alongside DJ. I mean, they know as well as everybody else knows that that's a special talent, and he's going to draw the media attention, and you draw the media attention. That's also media attention for you, and it's going to bring the scouts and NFL coaches. They're going to see you play, because they're also going to want to watch DJ play. So again, the game's got to get played, and they will get played. And I think that, this year's a different year, and this year is a real big, and I think this could be a money-making year right here for the University of Florida. So let's keep letting those games get played. Let's keep, really hammering down, and, let's just stay true. Let's just stay true to these boys. Let's do it as the name of this podcast is. Let's stand up and holler, and let's just continue to support, because I'm telling you, I think something special is on the rise. You can just feel it, just the way last season ended and the hype. And I get it. I wanted DJ to start from game 1 as well, but things work out the way they're supposed to work out. And I think we're starting to see it. I might be drinking the Kool-Aid. I said that last week too, but I might be letting myself up for letdown. But I just fully believe that there's something special on the rise, and I can't wait. I can't wait to go on this journey. I can't wait to be doing these podcasts and recording these episodes, and just absolutely just, seeing where this team goes. I'm so excited, and I cannot wait for football season. I feel like anybody who is around me is probably getting tired of hearing me say that, because I absolutely cannot wait. Can't wait for it to start. So, with that being said, and talking about the games and what we need to do to get these recruits to come in, and speaking of where Trenton Henderson is probably going to commit, there's also a very huge game come week 3, which as a Gators fan, and if you've been a Gators fan long enough, it's going to be weird to you that this is game 3. You know, this game's always been played in October, but we got LSU on the schedule. Who knows? You know, this is a massive, massive, massive game. We are walking into Death Valley. I don't know if it's been announced or what. It's going to be a night game. Let's be honest. The media wants it to be a night game. LSU wants it to be a night. Wants it to be a night game. It's going to be loud. It is going to be absolutely chaotic in there, and I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. But I do believe that DJ is going to be composed. You watched him last year in the Tennessee game, and yes, do I think that Baton Rouge is louder than, Neyland Stadium? Yes, I do. I do think it's louder, but I wouldn't say astronomically louder to the point that it's going to completely rattle DJ. He stood composed in Neyland Stadium and just threw an absolute dime to tie up the game to Shamir DK. So big-time players make big-time plays, and they make big-time things happen no matter where you are. And, it's not an impossible task to beat LSU at night. It's not like it's never happened before and that, teams haven't walked in there and beat them at night and, absolutely upset that crowd who thought that, we're going to disrupt them. We're going to make it chaotic in here. It's happened before. I mean, just look at it. It happens. And do I think that DJ is a player that can go and disrupt that? Yes, I do. And yes, I think that this team as a whole is going to be able to go in there and disrupt them. I think that it's got to be from the jump. You got to cause turnovers. You got to disrupt Nussmeier in that pocket. You have to. I mean, LSU's offense is going to be what LSU's offense is. They're known for it. They're known to have the receiving core. They're known to make it happen. And is it going to be loud in there? Yes. If you had the stadium pulse, that thing is going to be on red in the corner until we shut them up. I mean, if you give them no reason to shut up, they're going to be drunk, obnoxious, loud, and having that place rocking and rattling. So go out. You cannot play conservative. You cannot go into Death Valley and play conservative. Can't. And if somehow, Billy, you hear this, do not go in there, whether it's you, Russ Calloway, whoever's calling the plays. You cannot go into Death Valley and play conservative. You cannot do end arounds on third down. We saw LSU come into Florida last year and do an end around on third down or fourth down, and just these nonsense, just moronic plays. We can't go in there and do that. You're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to put the ball in the air, and you're going to have to try and score. You're not going to be able to maintain the clock there. You're not going to be able to, dictate the game there. No, from the jump, I'm talking word go. You have got to go in there, and even if it means the first play on offense that you take a shot down the field, do it. I mean, that's how we're going to win. But if you sit there and you play conservative and you try to hand the ball off and you let them stack the box and you let them, get pressure on DJ and not let Jaden Ball get his legs rolling, and you're, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and you're handing the ball off because you're, we're going to punt, we're going to put in our deep. No. Can't do it. Same thing, like if you get the ball with a minute and a half or so before halftime, you cannot do like you did against Ole Miss last year, and we're just going to run the ball. We're going to get to halftime with a 3-point lead, a 7-point lead, or a tie, whatever the case. No. Put the ball in the air. Let's go down there and score against them. You got to beat teams. You got to go and beat them. They're not going to gift wrap it to you. Not in that stadium. It's not going to happen. And I know I'm talking real passionate about this and getting frustrated, but it is frustrating as a fan of this team that the depth is there. You don't get the excuse anymore, Billy, that you don't have your players there. No, you got your players. Now it's on you. Now it's on you to make the plays happen and to call the right game and to not play this, a nickel and dime here. No, you said it at Louisiana, scared money don't make money, and it's time to start writing checks. You need to start, adding a couple commas in there. We got to start pulling the big money out there, and we got to start going for it. We got to start putting that ball in the air because DJ's only going to be here so long. This offense is only going to be here so long. And these boys can enter the transfer portal and dip at the end of next season. So if you don't show these kids, that you're going to bring a high-powered offense in there and you're going to put the ball in the air, they're not going to come play. These receivers are not going to come play football at the University of Florida to become a blocker. It's not going to happen. You don't bring a Dallas Wilson in. You don't bring a Vernell Brown in, a Nashawn Montgomery, a Jermichael Sturdivant. You don't bring these guys in to stand there and block for Jaden Ball to, 75, 80% of the game. You don't do it. You don't have a DJ Lagway to run this offense, to hand the ball off most of the game. Do I believe that Ball and Jackson are going to be workhorses? Yes, I fully believe that those are going to be just absolute go-tos, 110%. But you got to be able to put the ball in the air, and you got to know when to put the ball in the air, and you got to know 100% that you have confidence on both, throwing and running the ball. And so who knows? I may be talking outside of my neck, and we might go out there and have the best passing offense, or top 3 passing offense in the nation this coming season. I don't know. But that is how you are going to be able to beat an LSU, and there's just absolutely no other way. Because if you get conservative and you get scared, or you're, doing the Billy way, you go into the press conference after the LSU game and you talking with your hands, and it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. So let's go and let's make some money here. Let's put some money out there. Let's push some chips all in. This is the season to do it. You got the toughest schedule, in the nation. Number 1, push some chips in. Let's high stakes, bet here. Let's show the motor on that offense, because the way that thing's looking on paper, that thing's humming. And I want to see you rev it up and just absolutely full gun that thing. None of that scared stuff anymore. Let's see how that thing can rev up. Let's see how, how it purrs, and see how, let's see how fast that thing can really go. Because, boy, the size of some of these receivers we got out there, it's looking like the New York skyline running down Gainesville. It's just what it's looking like. So, I'm going to trust in Billy. I'm going to trust in Russ Callaway, and that we're going to make some things shake. I mean, if you look at Russ Callaway's past, you look at what kind of offense he ran, he's a pass-heavy type of guy. So you mix Russ Callaway's passing in with Billy Napier's running, some points are going to be scored. Remember I said that. Clip this. Some points will be scored in Gainesville, Florida, and in anyone's city that is on our schedule. LSU, whoever, there will be points scored in your city. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so I said it last week. I'm going to say it again this week. I am not going to pick a winner and a loser of this game. I'll just tell you the ins and outs of what I think personally needs to happen. And, if it does or doesn't, who knows? But I'm not going to pick a winner or a loser, because if I'm picking that, I'm picking the Gators to go undefeated, because you're just not going to hear the words come out of my mouth that we're going to lose a game. It ain't going to happen. I'm just too biased to make it happen, to even say that. So, yeah, Death Valley, night game. it's going to be fun. That right there, I'll say this one more thing about that before we move on to game 4. But I do think that right there, that LSU game in Baton Rouge, I think that could just absolutely skyrocket, number one, Florida into the discussions of the playoffs. And I also think that could skyrocket DJ Lagway into that Heisman talks even more. I know that you hear some chitter chatter about him being a Heisman candidate and things like that. But you go beat LSU in Baton Rouge at night, that media is going to turn some heads and start looking your way even more than they already are. And then it's going to get real fun. Game 4, we travel down to Miami. I'm going to say this. This is not a Cam Ward-led Miami Hurricanes team. It's just not. It is a Carson Beck-led Miami team. Do I think that Carson Beck can be decent? Yes, I do. But Carson Beck is not going to be the quarterback who scrambles to the left, scrambles to the right, can shimmy in, shimmy out, get into the in and out of the pocket, look to his flats, and and make a throw happen from the craziest thing. It's just not happening, especially not with him having the surgery and absolutely knowing for a fact how healthy he actually is. And so I do think that there's going to be a lot of pressure that we put on him. And I think we are going to rush him. I think we're going to hit him, and I think we're going to hit him a lot. And I get it. It's a different area. It's a different look. It's this, it's that. But we did it to him when he was at Georgia last season. We put a lot of pressure on him, and we put him in a lot of uncomfortable positions. And it caused him to not know where to go with the ball. You could tell he was panicked, and then DJ gets hurt, and the air just deflates out of the room, and you can tell. I mean, I wasn't at the game, but I talked to my cousin who was, and he told me, he sent me a text, and he said, man, it's just dead in here because Lag went down. And then it gets quiet. You can tell that even the players, the defense responds to Lagway being on the field. And when that happens, now everybody's like, oh, no, we're going to lose. Like, oh, no, we're done. Like, Mertz is hurt. You got Lag that's hurt now. And now we're down to Aiden Warner. And no offense to him, but he's just not that guy. He's not. And so when that room deflates, the defense deflates, everybody kind of, gives up a little bit. And it's just being honest, just as you felt it as a Gators fan whenever he got hurt, the defense feels that too. They're like, dang, like we're going to go out here and we're going to put ourselves on the line out here to stop them and get the ball back just for the offense to get the ball. And Aiden Warner is not going to be able to move the ball down the field. I mean, it is what it is. It's just, that's being honest. No hate on Aiden Warner. Please don't need to play this year, but if for some reason you do, I'm going to rep you. I'm not going to feel too comfortable about it, but I'm going to rep you. But we all know that it's just not the same as that Lagway effect. It's not. And so it's a Miami led by Carson Beck. I think we're going to get some pressure on him. I think we're going to force him to throw some interceptions. I get it. I get it, Miami fans. If you're listening to this, yes, you came into the swamp and you guys beat the brakes off of us in the swamp, and you took your little pictures with our statues, and you wanted to have your, defacing our statues and things like that. I would, not saying that I'd love for our fan base to go to Miami and do anything to y'all statues, but as we know, you rent a stadium, you pay rent. You help with the electric bill for the Dolphin Stadium. That ain't your stadium. That's a Dolphin Stadium. And so there really ain't no statues to go down there and mess with anyways. So, it might end up being a home game anyways for the Gators because, we know that the Hurricanes don't turn out to games. All 2,600 of you that show up, we might take that thing over. But all jokes aside, I think that it comes down to, again, put the pressure on Carson Beck, force the turnovers. This was a game last year. However you want to look at it, watching the games get played, again, there's no denying it. We got smacked around. We got absolutely dog walked. They were talking to the, commits we had there and the prospects that we had there, and they're over there doing the gator chomp, and they're telling these boys to come down to Miami, not to play here. And can you blame them? I mean, can you blame them? We didn't even look like we were there to play football. We looked like it was a pickup football game, and we were like, oh, dang, like we were actually supposed to try. And then that's what you get. So now we have to listen to Miami fans for a whole season. And one thing I'm glad about, one thing that there's no denying it, is we have so many returning players that they had to feel that. And I hope that the week leading up to that game, I hope that is just replayed and replayed and replayed. Them doing the gator chomp, them just absolutely. I want them showing all of it. I want the picture of our DB that's in the bushes, in the hedges over there. I want that to be on display, because most of these guys are returning. You had to feel it just as much as, just as much as the next guy. So I want to see, I want Billy replaying that. I want every team meeting, I want them to have to see that. And I want them to have to be reminded of it, because I want to go have these boys go down to Miami and smack them around. Give us the bragging rights to go around. Give us the ability to talk and keep it going, because we're not playing Miami next season. So we get them bragging rights for even longer if we win this one. You got to do it. You got to. It's a rivalry, and you can't give it up 2 seasons in a row. Can't do it. You got to go figure it out, and you got to go to their home and smack them around. And if you do that, hey, Miami's got some commits that they committed to Miami, but you look at that final list there, and Florida made quite a few of them. Did we miss out on some? Yeah, but there's also some that we took that also had Miami on their list. So let's go beat them at their home, where they're going to have commits there, and they're going to have, prospects there and people that they want. Let's go smack them around, and let's go to their section where their commits and their prospects are, and tell them, hey, come up to Gainesville, because you see something special's happening. You see number 2 leading the way. You see number 2 just, driving the Rolls Royce, and just, let's get them boys up, to the swamp. But I just, not picking a winner, not picking a loser, none of that. I think that every game on this schedule, with Lagway at the helm and with our defensive front, I believe that every game is winnable. No, I don't know if we're going to win every game. Who knows? Billy might Billy. But they're all winnable. Every one of them are winnable. And so, I like our chances. Every single week, I can wake up this season and go, we got a chance today. I can't say the same thing for last season or even the season before that. I did not wake up and go, we got a chance today. And it sucks. I hate feeling that way, because, growing up as a fan in the span that I did, I believe there's so many times a Will Grier-led offense, a Kyle Trask, a Tim Tebow, waking up, you go, yeah, we got a chance to win this today. We got a chance to put some points on the board today, and we have a chance to go out there and take this game. Again, I haven't felt that. Even last season, I was like, later in the season, I started to feel it. And I started to see, kind of the turning of these players starting to buy in. And I saw the turning of where it looked like these players are ready to go to absolute war for Billy Napier. So you got to capitalize on it. You got to go out there and you got to put your foot on some people's throats, to put it bluntly. And, games like talking like last week, LIU, USF, any games you have available points there, you need to score, because that's what these recruits, that's what these prospects are looking at. Hey, are they scoring? Like, I'm a wide receiver and I'm in high school and I'm a 5-star and I'm watching Texas and Georgia and LSU and Ole Miss and these different guys. I'm watching them put up 50, 60 points, or someone, if they're playing a bad team, they're putting up 70 points on these guys. Oh, but I'm over here watching Florida, and yeah, Florida's on my list, but Florida's scoring 28, 35, 40. It's not going to work. They're not going to come there. That's not going to be production that's going to get them to where they want to go, which is get to the league and get to the NFL. Because at the end of the day, that's what they want to do. Their lifelong dream, part of it might be to come play for the Gators, but at the end of it, they want to be in the NFL. So they want to go where they can score a lot, they can put some footage on tape, and then they can, have these NFL scouts see that and go, hey, we want to take him in the first round. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's just what it is. That's what it's going to be. And so that's what I'm looking for this season. And you're probably going to hear me say it for game 5 and 6, game 7 and 8. You're going to hear me say it over and over again. Put points on the board. Put the ball in the air. I mean, nothing made me more mad than watching us play Ole Miss last season. And we get the ball right before half and have timeouts on the board, and we have, plenty of time to go down and try to score, even kick a field goal, anything. And I get it. Oh, let's not risk it. Let's not possibly turn the ball over. I don't care. You cannot come out with a statement, even if you weren't in Gainesville when you said it. You made the comment, Billy. Like, you made the comment, scared money don't make money. I ain't seen you put a bet out there yet. So play who needs to play. Play your best players, whether it's a freshman or a senior, and go put some points on the board. Let's put them chips all in. I want to smack Miami. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say it right here. I don't care if you're a Hurricanes fan listening to this. I don't care. I want to beat Miami by 150 if we can. I want to embarrass them. I want to embarrass LSU. Go ahead, Billy. You wanted to go to LSU. We know who you wanted to be the coach of. We understand that. You're from there. I get it. Go show them why they should have brought you. Don't let him beat you. Don't let Brian Kelly beat you. He couldn't beat you last year. Go into LSU and say, hey, look, this is what you could have had. This is what could have been brought to the table. But instead you wanted to go with him. But look what happened to you. I'm smacking you season after season. That's what I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see points. I want to see production. I want to see defense being aggressive. I want them boys flying to the ball, flying to it. I hope Aaron Gates is back. I want Aaron Gates to be back there just flying around. Aaron Gates, Bryce Thornton, all of them, Cormani McClain, Dijon Johnson, all of them, everybody flying to the ball. Miles Graham, Pup Howard, everyone. You see ball, get ball. That's, see ball, get ball, go get them. Caleb Banks last year just absolutely just annihilating people. I want to see this year. I want to see Tyreek Sapp just be aggressive, play in and play out. George Gums, you know what he's going to bring to the table, that high energy. I mean, he gets a tackle that's a 1-yard loss, and, he's out there just screaming. I love it. I love it. Screaming and hollering. You can tell he wants to be there. He is trying to not only get paid by the NFL, he is just a competitor through and through. Through and through. Let's see it pop off. I want to see what can shine here, but I'm telling you, I like what we have out there. This offensive line is returning. We have the best center in college football, argue with the wall if you don't believe it. This O-line can stand there and they can protect DJ. And our stallions at running back can run behind it and give, and then giving DJ time to just absolutely flick it out there to these studs that we have at wide receiver. No reason we shouldn't compete with these guys. No reason. There is absolutely, just to be honest, to put it out there, win or lose, there is absolutely no excuse for a Texas A&M game this year. No reason, no excuse for a Florida versus Miami game this year. No blowouts. You better compete from, first whistle to last whistle. You better compete. That's all there is to it. And I believe we can. Truly. I believe we can, and I believe when we do, I believe that, I hate to say it because I'm grateful for some of these guys who commit and are here, and that the coaching staff sees are, diamonds in the rough. But you start putting major points on the board and you start winning games like 10, 11, whatever win seasons, then big dogs are coming in. You're going to get receivers like a Jeremiah Smith. You're going to get these players who, you were talking to them, you got them on campus, you're in the running for them, and then you sit there and watch them go to the Buckeyes. You sit there and watch these players go to the Longhorns and to the Bulldogs, and and you're sitting there like, well, we were on their final list. That don't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything if you're on that final list. If they aren't on campus, because to be brutally honest, I'm sick of being the one that says, well, they're going to go there for a year and they're going to collect a check and then they're going to, then we got to check. No, I'm tired of saying that and I'm tired of hearing it. Let's get them from the jump. Let's get them out of high school. Let's get them into Gainesville. Let's keep them in Gainesville and let's get the production, make it a well-oiled machine, get the production, send them off to the league. Have that proof and have that resume that, hey, these are the guys that we're putting into the league. These are the guys who are getting the stars out there, that you can go by. You can go into Gainesville and you can see the stars out there. You can see the Gatorheads out there. You see the production. Let's get this going. I want Lagway to have a statue. In 3 to 4 years, 5 years, whatever the case may be, whenever they unveil it, I want to be able to go to the swamp and be able to walk by and see a DJ Lagway statue because DJ Lagway not only won a Heisman, but because he won a national championship or multiple national championships at the University of Florida. And it can happen. He's a generational talent. Please do not waste it. Do not waste this talent. And not just him. There's talent all over the place. Dallas Wilson. I mean, it's undeniable how good he is and will be. He was rated as high as he was for a reason. There was a reason. I get it. I get it. Signing day, he signed with Oregon. And everybody can say what they want. Oh, he only left and went there because of this and that. Doesn't matter. He's here now. But again, I want to be on the winning side of that. I want to see on signing day. I want number 1 class, number 2 class. I want to be up there. And because of the games being won, that's the reason that we're there. And so, there's studs everywhere on this team. And if you don't believe me, just look or listen to the media. So now, no more excuses. No more Billy needs to get his guys or Billy this or Billy. No, it's too many excuses. Too many. And to be brutally honest, if for some reason Lagway does get hurt and we're still not winning games, guess what? That still falls on to Billy because there are plenty of other teams in the country who, yes, they may not have their starter at, talent behind them, but their second and third strings are still guys who can come in and can win ball games. So who knows? Harrison Bailey may be able to come in. He's got seniority in this. He's, a super senior. And he may be able to come in. I do believe that his running ability and his passing ability, I do think that he could come in and maintain some games, but I don't believe that he's the guy who's going to come in and beat a Texas or beat a Georgia or even beat an LSU, Texas A&M. He's not going to be the guy to do that. We got to fix that room too. So, I know this is a long-winded rant, but it's because those first two games were real easy to talk about. It's real easy to talk about the LIUs because we're going to go in there and smack them around. It's easy to talk about the USFs, and that's a team we should go in and smack around too. But then you get into this gauntlet. I mean, we're going to talk more about, games 5 and 6. We're going to talk about those next week, but games 3, 4, 5, and 6 is just murder's row. You get through that, we win these 4 games. And again, this is more we'll talk about next week, but we get through those 4 games. Oh yeah. Don't follow me on social media because I'm going to get pretty ignorant. I'm going to start, talking my talk on there even more than I am now. So, to just break it down here, key factors: put the ball in the air, score when we have opportunities to score, do not leave points on the board, and come on, Billy, let's do what you said. Scared money don't make money. Let's go make some money. Let's go see dollar signs. Because you start getting wins, we start getting recruits, and it starts getting real special in Gainesville, and you start getting some rings to add to them fingers of yours. This ain't Louisiana no more. This is the SEC. There's a reason that people come here to play because this is a powerhouse conference. Top to bottom, you ain't got time to slack here. You don't have time to wait too long. Everybody gave you, you had 3 seasons. We're going into season 4. You're not going to cut it here with another 7-win season. I don't even know if you're going to cut it with an 8-win season, to be honest with you. It's 9+. 9+. So I think we can do it. I think this team is full of talent. And I pay attention to this in and out. And I know some people are like, oh, well, this isn't this last year. That was last year. That's fine. We got a whole new leaf turned over. I saw it last year at the end, at the end of the season. They bought into the program. They bought into what Billy's doing. And I can't wait to see what happens from here on out. I cannot wait for this season. I can't wait. I can't wait to be in Gainesville and to stand up and holler for these boys and to be just gator chomping. I can't wait. Can't wait. And I can't wait to be on the journey with y'all and to just see where this thing goes. I think that we got something special cooking. Something absolutely special is brewing and cooking in the swamp. And games will be played. Billy, show me something. Russ Callaway, show me something. Let's see where we can go with this. But I can't wait. It's going to be so good. It's going to be something that we'll see. I think something special is brewing. I think at the end of the year, you're going to be talking about Florida being in the playoffs. And then we'll see what happens. Games will be played. That's all there is to it. Y'all know what it is. Go Gators. Forever, always. Orange and blue runs through these veins. And I thank you guys for tuning in for week 2 with me, episode 2. Can't wait to see you guys, episode 3. And to, talk with you guys. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. I got the Instagram up and running. It is Stand Up and Holler. You'll see my big mug on there. You'll see the logo on there. Follow me, comment, tell me what you want to hear me talk about. Tell me if you want me to shut up a little more, whatever you want me to do, let's talk about it. Let's I want this to be the best it can be for y'all, not just me ranting and raving. And I do want to open this up and get people on here with me so we can talk about, you being a Gators fan and how you became a Gators fan, how long you've been a Gators fan. Doesn't matter if it's been one day or 85 years that you've been a Gators fan. We're all a family here, all orange and blue, and I want to hear about it. Let's talk about it. Let's, kick back, hang out. Let's get you guys on here. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.
$2.
6 bits a dollar.
6 bits a dollar.
$1.
All for the Gators.
All for the Gators.
All for the Gators.
Stand up and holler.